Hello and welcome back to my page. Today we'll be going through a nice, easy, slow, all levels, beginner-friendly class. So grab your mat, grab a space on the floor, and we will get started on our backs. As always, if I say something for you to do that doesn't feel completely right in your body today, then just skip it. My voice comes second. Your body comes first. You know yourself better than I do, obviously. Especially when you're following something online, you really just have to make sure to tune into your body to make sure that you're doing everything you can to protect it. So we will get started on our back. We'll just find a comfortable position here just to start out with the flow. So a few options here on our back would be to lie down with our feet planted on the ground, hip width distance apart, allowing your hands to just fall wherever they'd like. Another option that can be soothing for the low back sometimes is to take your feet a little wider. If you do have a mat with you, it is about the width of the yoga mat or exercise mat. And just let your knees knock in to the center. This often creates space in your low back and can be nice if you do have issues. And finally, the last pose to begin with can be just a simple laid down position here, just like Shavasana, with your legs and arms spread out completely. If you do have blocks with you, you can also do the supported fish pose by putting a block underneath your upper back as well as underneath your head, so you open up your chest. I'm choosing not to use blocks for this flow today as it is an all levels class. So if you are a beginner following along with me, you most likely may not have props with you. So we're going to do a class without props today that's still accessible to everyone. So whatever position is comfortable for you, just be there and allow your mind and body to relax. Begin. Just focusing on the breath here, in and out through the nose if it's accessible for you. If not, breathing through the mouth is perfectly acceptable. Couple options for the breath here is counting your inhales and exhales in terms of the counts that you breathe in. For example, breathing in for a count and breathing out for a count. You can manipulate that length and manipulate the energy based on that. So if you choose to do an even count of inhale and exhale, that's very balancing and resetting breath. If you're coming into this flow today feeling pretty antsy, stressed, anxious, you can help relax your body and bring it back down by lengthening out the exhales. So making the count of exhales longer than the count of inhale. And finally, if you're coming in feeling super sluggish, maybe you're just waking up in the morning or after a day-long work and you want to or need a bit more energy to move your body, you can invite more energy into your body by lengthening out the inhales. So whatever your choice is today, we'll just be here for a couple moments to begin. If you're comfortable doing so, you can soften the gaze or close the eyes completely. Really notice how your body is feeling today. Notice if you have any sticky or sore spots. And if you do, you can direct your breath towards those spots. Wherever you are, take 2 more deep breaths. And we'll begin by simply inviting the smallest of movements in, starting out by wiggling the fingers and the toes, and then moving on to rolling out the ankles and the wrists. If you are doing circles, rolling them out, make sure to switch directions. And with one big breath in, reach your arms out all the way up. If you had your feet planted on the ground, this would be a good time to let them lengthen out. We'll just be here for a few moments. Deep breath in, lengthen all the way out. You can even wiggle your toes and fingers to really lengthen out this stretch. Like you're just waking up in the morning. Deep, deep, deep full body stretch here. Good. And after that, we're going to go into the banana stretch. So by doing this, you can simply walk and shimmy your feet as well as your arms and maybe even your shoulders a little bit towards the left side. So we're doing a bit of a curve with our body and lengthening out our right side body. You can deepen this stretch by crossing your right ankle over top of your left, as well as using your left hand to grab onto your right wrist or hand and just pull ever so slightly. Doing a couple deep breaths, breathing into our right side body, feeling it lengthen out. Feeling the stretch in our ribs and possibly the outer hip, shoulder. One more deep breath here. Good. And we'll bring ourselves back through center and move right over towards the other side. So shimmying our feet, shoulders and hands over towards the right side now. Deepening the stretch by crossing our left ankle over top of our right and grabbing onto our left wrist with our right hand. Deep breaths into our left side body now. Notice if both sides are similar or if one is possibly tighter than the other. A couple more breaths here. One more deep breath. And straighten ourselves back up through center. You plant your feet down on the ground. And we'll get started by bringing our right ankle over top of our left thigh and letting our hip open up. So reclined pigeon pose, you may feel something right here as is, so you may just want to stay here today. If you do want to deepen the stretch a little bit, you can use your hands to grab onto the back of your left thigh / hamstring. Or if you want to deepen it even more, you can grab on to your right or left shin, sorry. So choose what feels good for you today. In deep stretching poses like this one, it could be nice to stay still or invite a bit of movement in by swaying side to side very gently. One more deep breath here. And let your left foot plant back down. You can use your hands to grab onto your right knee. Lengthen out your left leg and do a bit of hip mobility here by using your hands to massage out your right hip joint. Just moving it around in any way that feels good. Just be here for a moment. And we'll be moving into a spinal twist here. So you can either keep your left leg lengthened, inhale to pull your right knee into your chest just a bit more, and exhale to let your right knee fall over towards the left side. Now this may be a bit too intense for some people, so a nice modification is to hug both knees in. Deep breath in, and then exhale to let both knees fall over towards the left side, stacked on top of each other. We'll just take 1 or 2 breaths here. Very gentle warm up of the spine. Good. And inhale to bring your knees or knee into your chest. And exhale, plant your right foot back down. Bring your left foot to meet your right, and we'll do it on the other side. So bring your left ankle over top of your right thigh. Figure 4 pose on the other side. Choose whatever option is working for this side, either staying with your foot planted or using your hands to grab onto your right thigh, left hamstring, or right shin. Breathing into the stretch here. Noticing if there's a difference between this side and the last. Swaying gently if it feels better than staying still. One more deep breath here. And letting your right foot plant back down to grab your left knee and then lengthen your right leg out completely. And begin to massage into your left hip joint here by moving your left knee around in whatever way feels good. And we'll move into our spinal twist here. So whatever option you took on the other side, bringing one knee over or both, do the same thing on this side. Inhale to pull it or put them in, and exhale to let your knee or knees fall over towards the right side. Just take 1 or 2 deep breaths here. And inhale to hug your knee back into your chest and bring the other one up with you if they weren't already both. Do a quick little massage of the low back here, whirling around in circles or swaying back and forth. And then we'll go up to a seated position. So you can get there however you'd like, by either rolling over to your sides and going up on all fours and then back to seated. Or if you want to try and be a bit more playful with it, you can follow my lead and start rolling on your low back. And eventually you may get to a point where you tilt all the way over. We'll just be in this seated position for a brief moment, a transition, if you will. Just take some deep breaths, hands planted on our knees, cross-legged. If cross-legged doesn't feel great for you, you can have your legs outstretched in front or even feet planted. Just find something that works for you. And deep breath in to bring the shoulders up towards your ears. And exhale, let them roll back and down. A few more of those. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll them back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll them back. Do a couple more to your own breath here, really exaggerating the movement. We'll meet in our seated neutral position. And we'll just work with our hands, wake them up just a little bit before moving on. So you can lift your fingers and hands out in front of you and just stretch them out as wide as you can. Wide, wide, wide. It may feel very uncomfortable. We don't often do a lot of movement in terms of strengthening and stretching with our hands. Okay, and just wiggle them around. Really try and make the grip between each finger as wide as you can. Good. Maybe roll up the fingers a bit, maybe the wrists again. And then you're going to flip the palm of your right hand upwards and then use your left hand to just pull your right fingers down just a tiny bit to stretch out your right wrist. Just for a moment here. And you're not pulling too hard. You're more just using the weight of your hand and this maybe a slight pull, but nothing too strenuous here. And when you feel like you've had a good stretch here, flip your palm back. And then you're going to pull your fingers towards you this time. So we're stretching out the top of our wrists. Just quickly for this one. Nice. Roll it out one more time before moving to the other side. So left palm facing up. Use your right hand to pull your fingers down, stretching out the inside of the wrist. Breathing through everything here. And then flipping the hand over, palm face down, and using your right hand to pull your fingers in towards your wrist, stretching out the top of our wrist now. Good. Rolling them both out one more time. I'm just going to turn myself back over, and we will move into all fours. So once again, you can get there however you like, maybe rolling over to your side and then going up on all fours. But if you'd like to try from a cross-legged position, bringing your hands planted down on the mat and rolling over your ankles and knees until you find yourself on all fours. Try and stretch out your hands as much as we were just before. So really stretch them all out and put all your energy into your fingertips to help negate the weight from your wrists. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a round of breath here. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your chin and curve into your spine. Inhale, open your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, push into your hands, feel the stretch in your upper back. Move through these a couple more times at your own pace. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to curve in. Feel free to also experiment with this, maybe trying to stretch out on the sides, or just doing whole big circles. Just really doing what feels good for you. All right. And then gripping into your hands, tucking your toes underneath. Take a deep breath in. And exhale to hover your knees ever so slightly. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hover. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hover. Inhale, hold. Exhale, lift your hips back and up into our first downward dog. Push into your hands. Let your heels be heavy. If you want to take the dog for a walk, you can pedal out your heels, feel the stretch in your calves. I'll just be here for a moment. And then slowly we will make our way to the front of the mat by either stepping or hopping up. And just hang out here for a moment. Letting your knees bend, maybe swaying around a bit. And then inhale, slowly roll up your spine, nice and gently. And exhale, let your shoulders roll behind. Inhale, lift your arms, follow with the gaze. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold over. Inhale, straighten your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back over. Bend your knees enough to allow your hands to completely come flat to the ground. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Drop your knees and lower yourself down to your belly. Your hands next to your armpit area. Inhale to roll your shoulder blades back and peel your chest off the ground. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push up through tabletop, tuck your toes, and bring your hips back in to our downward dog. Take a couple breaths here. Move in any way that feels good. And inhale. Exhale to hop or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, roll all the way up. Hands come last overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a round of breath here. And your hand here, maybe just as wonky as mine. Deep breaths. Okay. Now, keeping your hands at heart center or bringing them on your waist. Inhale to drop your hips low. Exhale, lift your right heel up, staying on the ball or toe of your right foot. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left heel raises. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, right. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, right heel raises. Rip into your toes in the mat. Engage your left leg. And with stability, step your right foot back. So bending into our front leg, making sure our knee doesn't go over past our toes. On the ball of our back foot, hands come up on a deep breath in. Exhale, let your right heel drop behind and open your chest, open your hips to the front. Warrior two. Round a breath here. Feel the strength in this pose. Engage your core. Inhale, deepen just a bit. Exhale, straighten your front leg and bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, straighten. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, deepen, arms out. Exhale, cartwheel your hands back towards the front. Pivot back on the ball of your right foot. Plant your hands down. And step your left foot back to meet your right. Planting your knees down or going all the way down from plank. Inhale, peel your chest off the ground. Exhale. Inhale, tuck your toes under your feet. Push up. And exhale to bring your hips back and up toward downward dog. Inhale to hop or step to the front of the mat. Our forward hold. Let your hands and head hang heavy for a moment here. And inhale, slowly roll all the way up, hands coming last overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Remembering the option of keeping your hands at your waist. I'm going to bring them at my heart center this time and keep them there. Feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, hips drop low. Exhale, left heel or knee comes off the ground. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, right. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, right. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left foot or knee comes off the ground. Grip into your right toes, engage your right leg, find stability, and step back with your left foot. Find your grounding here in this pose. And when you feel stable enough, inhale to bring your arms overhead. Exhale, pivot your left heel down, open up your hips, warrior two on the other side. Knees tracking with your right toe. Back foot almost perpendicular to the front. Round a breath here. And inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten your front leg, hands to heart center. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten. Last two here at your own breath. And we'll meet in a warrior two, inhaling to deepen. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot back on the ball of your left foot. Plant your hands down on the ground. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Stay up at plank or drop your knees. Exhale to lower yourself down to the ground all the way, or inhale up to upward dog. Straightening your arms, opening up through your chest. Exhaling, pushing up through your table or going on the balls of your feet and bring your hips right, up, and back from upward dog. Pedal out the feet. Inhale. Exhale, hopper step to the front of the mat. Inhale, slowly roll up all the way. Hands coming last overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few rounds of breath here. If you're craving a bit more movement, you can sway your hips side to side, feeling the stretch in your outer hips. All right, you can keep your hands at your waist at heart center, or if you crave some movement, you can follow with me. Inhale, hips low, hands up. Exhale, hands down, right foot or knee comes up. Inhale low. Exhale left. Inhale low. Exhale right. Inhale low. Exhale left. Inhale low. Exhale right. Ground into your left foot, engage your left leg, and step back to our lunge. Inhale, hands come overhead. Exhale, drop your right heel down, warrior two. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, hands come overhead and straighten your front leg. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, deepen. Hold here for a moment.
And due to technical difficulties, the video stopped recording here, but just follow along with my voice for this little vinyasa between, and we'll meet back with the video. So from your warrior two, pivot on the ball of your back foot and cartwheel your hands down into your lunge. Gripping your hands into the mat, step your foot back so they're both back behind in a plank, or bring your knees down to the ground to table and lower yourself all the way down to the ground on an exhale. Inhale for your back bend of choice, opening up through your collarbones. Exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale, pushing up through table or plank. Bring your hips up and back into our downward facing dog. Take a moment here before hopping or stepping to the front of the mat in our forward fold. Inhale to slowly roll up, hands overhead, and exhale, bring your hands back down to heart center, and here we will meet back with the video.
Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left knee comes up. Grip into your right foot and step your left foot back. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, drop your left heel and deepen in to your warrior two on this side. Take a moment here. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, deepen. Exhale, straight. Two more at your own breath. We'll meet in our warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Tip it on the ball of your left foot. Plant your hands. Step your right foot to meet the left. And lower down to your belly. Inhale, peel your chest or whole upper body up. Exhale, push through table or plank. Bring your hips high and back. Exhale, stop, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last little burst of energy here, and then we're going to bring things down again to finish off. Keeping hands at heart center. Inhale, drop your hips low. Exhale, lift your right knee high. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, hips low. Exhale, left knee up. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, hips low. Now inhale, low. Exhale, right knee comes up. Inhale to open up your hip. Exhale to plant your foot down on your leg somewhere. And it may be down here on the ground, and that's okay. Just find your spot. And we'll play around with our tree pose here on this side for a moment. Grounding down, gripping in our toes on the left side. Keeping the energy and strength in our right leg rather than letting it push down on our left leg. Engage our core by sucking in our stomach. And play around with your arm options. You can keep them down at your hips, heart center, or bring them up high. If you want to be a tree swing in the wind, you can move them around. Play around here just for a moment. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knee back up, hands to heart center. Inhale, hips low. Other side, exhale, left knee up. Inhale, open up your hip. Exhale, place your left foot anywhere on your leg or the ground, right near your ankle. And play around with this side. Everything counts for this side too, keeping the strength in your left leg. Sucking your stomach in to engage your core. Squeezing your bum to help engage, bring stability to your legs. And playing around with the arm movements here, really challenging your stability. Let's take one more deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, close your knee back through center. Inhale, hips low one last time. Exhale, straighten, mountain pose. Take a couple breaths here. Side out if you're getting a little heated by inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Sign out. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten your back. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands down by bending your knees as much as you need. Step both feet back. Go through plank or table and drop low. Inhale, your back bend of choice, cobra or up dog. And exhale, knees down the ground and shift your hips all the way back to our child's pose. Options here to keep your knees and feet hip width distance apart, arms lengthened out in front of you or by your side. If you want a bit more of a hip opener, you can bring your toes together and step your knees out wide. And sitting back, nice a deep stretch in the hips. Just find what's good for you today. And just hang out here for a moment or two. Deep breaths here. And bring your hands by your head just to push yourself up. We're just moving to our back now, so get there any way you'd like, just sitting over on one hip. Back to safe position, and finally allowing yourself to completely calm down. Couple breaths here. Bring your feet out wide, about the width of a yoga mat. Inhale. Exhale, drop both knees over towards the right side. Feel the deep stretch in the outer left hip and thigh. Inhale through center. Exhale over to the other side. Move through this as fast or slow as you like. We'll be here for a couple more moments. Inhaling through center and exhaling into the stretch. Just finish off the side you're on to make it even between the two. And we'll meet in the center. Either hug both knees in or lengthen out your left leg, hug your right knee in. Deep breath in, pull it towards your chest. Exhale, let your left or both knees fall, right or both knees fall over towards the left side. Trying to keep your chest, collarbones as open as possible, keeping the right shoulder heavy towards the ground. Deepening the stretch by simply bringing your gaze over towards the right side, completing the complete twist in your spine. Take one or two more deep breaths. And inhale to bring your knee or knees back through center. If you did just do one knee, you can go ahead and switch them by lengthening out your right and pulling your left knee in towards your chest. Inhale to pull it or both knees in. Exhale, let it fall over towards the right side. This time, keeping your left shoulder heavy and possibly taking the gaze over towards the left side. Once again, noticing if there's a difference between both sides. Just take one or two more deep breaths here. Or finally, bringing both knees in to your chest, possibly quickly giving it another nice gentle massage by rolling on your low back. And final bout of energy here. Wrap your arms around your knees, pull them in towards your chest, maybe even lift your head off the ground. Give it a big, big squeeze, biggest hug you've received today. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the last little energy you have. And exhale to release. Lengthen out your legs, arms, and let it all go. Completely relax. Once again, find whatever position is most comfortable for you right now. Maybe with everything lengthened out as I am doing in full Shavasana. Or you may have your feet planted, knees up or knocked in. Or maybe you actually just want to find a nice, comfortable seated position. Either way, we're going to take just these last couple moments to completely relax for closing flow today. Take some last couple deep breaths, possibly sighing it out with me. Inhaling, deep breath through the nose. Exhaling, sighing it out through the mouth. One more like that. Deep breath in, biggest breath of the day. Exhale, let it all go. And allow yourself to completely relax here. Easing tension in every part of your body. Beginning with your head, relaxing the space between your eyebrows, letting them fall without any tension. Easing tension in your jaw by letting your tongue fall from the roof of the mouth and parting your lips slightly to allow your jaw to relax. And then moving down your body, let everything just feel completely heavy and relax into themselves in whatever way they want to right now. Your shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, your back, hips, knees, ankles, and feet. Just let everything completely soften and relax. And give yourself permission to just completely relax in your thoughts and mind right now as well. After this video is over, you can go back to your lists and errands and whatever else is on your mind. But just right now, give yourself peace in your thoughts and mind. just be here for a moment or two longer. If you wish to continue your Shavasana, feel free to pause the video and come back to it after to just stay here as long as you'd like. But if you are ready to finish this off, you can follow me by inviting some small movements back into your body by beginning with wiggling the fingers and toes, eventually rolling out the wrists and the ankles. And finally, deep breath in, come back to that full body stretch from the beginning, arms overhead, feet and hands lengthen out, deep, deep breath, biggest stretch yet. Next, let it all go. Roll over on your side, stay here for a moment, or push yourself all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Not sure what my hair is doing right now. A couple more deep breaths. Your hands at heart center. Close down your eyes for a moment if you'd like. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found a nice stretch, movement, or maybe even just some time to relax. And moving on with your days and weeks, just always remember that you can come back to your breath so easily. It is our easiest tool if you're ever feeling stressed or anxious, or if you just need a moment to check back in. Just take a second, take a few breaths, and come back to the moment you're in. Thank you, and until next time.